everyone, this is Joe. Okay, with this video, I would like to share with you how you can protect your wireless local area networks for your home or for enterprise by using a radius server authentications. Okay, uh, with that, let me use laboratory 6 experiments. Not all, but I'll be going through only the radius server setup and authentication part. Okay. So for the setup today, I will be using a CISCO Aironet access point, as you see here, and I'll be running Red Hat OS 5 on the VMware, okay, version 12. This is my Red Hat 5, which is running on the VMware workstations. Okay, so without further ado, let me show you the initial setup. Okay, so today what we're going to do is that we're going to set up a simple wireless local area networks. Okay, look at the diagrams here. Okay, I have my notebook PC1, which is running a Red Hat server with radius service, which will be linked to the CISCO Aironet AP. Okay, with radius authentication setup, and there will be PC2, which will be connected to the CISCO AP via a radius authentication. So what is different from radius and the normal authentication is that for the radius, user have to key in username and password. So that means the CISCO AP will check the legitimate users via the radius database. Okay, so which is considered to be more secure. With our traditional access point, you just have to key in the password. Okay. Okay, so for the initial setup, okay, I have to assign the IP address to my wireless AP, which I show you here as well. This is the IP address of my wireless AP, which I assigned earlier in my lab. So remember, I will be using 10.23.2.51. Okay, and username for the AP is Cisco, and password is Cisco. Capital C is okay here. Take note. Okay. Okay. Next, I want to set up the network to my AP from my Windows computers. So I'm running Windows 10 now. So I go to my Wi-Fi icon here. So click on these options, Open Network Sharing Center. I go to the Change Adapter Settings. So I connect my AP to my PC using Ethernet. So I go to this Ethernet, I right-click, Properties, and then I go to TCP/IP version 4. I'm going to change the IP address. For this experiment, okay, let me use 10.23.2.5, and this is my subnet mask, and the gateway is my CISCO AP. Okay, so in your lab experiment, you have to follow the third octets based on the table that you sit in. Okay, so with that, let me click OK and click OK here. Okay, you can also check your network connectivities from your PC to the AP by using a command prompt. You can just ping simply 10.23. For my case, it's 2.51. So if you get the reply from the AP, you are done. Okay. Okay. Next, once I have done the connections between my router, again my CISCO AP and my Windows computer, I can access to the configuration file via the web browsers. So you just type the IP address in your web browser, and then they'll prompt you for the username and password. So just enter the username password as I shown earlier. Okay, after that, click login. Okay, then you will see the CISCO Aironet 1200 series access point interface. Okay. Okay, so this part I will do it later on. So let me go through the preparations for our Red Hat server. Okay, so let me bring you to the initial MAC address setup. Okay, so for that, this is session 2. Okay, so let's follow this session 2.3. So now I already set up the Red Hat OS. So now first I have to run the following commands in the terminal. Okay, I have to run this command in the terminal. So to go to terminal, go to Applications, Accessories, Terminal. Okay, so you have to type DNS mask -f 10.23. Since I already typed here, so let me go back to my history to save the time. Okay, this is my DNS mask command -f. Okay, this is the CISCO AP, the IP address, again, Cisco AP IP address 3H-G. Okay, this is a MAC address of the Cisco AP. You can found at the back of the access point. Okay, this is a MAC address. So please take note and then write it down here. Remember, every two numbers, you have to put the two dot. Okay, followed by comma, the IP address of the Cisco AP 10.23.2.51. Okay, after that, click enter. Since I already entered earlier, so it will give me this error. Okay, this is my address is already entered. So to me it's okay. For you shouldn't appear if you haven't keyed in that DNS mask. Okay, so just enter. So your Cisco AP will be stored into the DNS. Okay, next. So now, okay, next part is that connect the power adapter. So everything I have done the setup. So my Cisco AP is up and running. It's up and running with the power. Okay, make sure I can ping to the AP successfully. Yeah, okay. So I can also ping to the AP via my Windows. Okay, if you want to ping the AP from your Red Hat server, you can just simply do administration, network. Okay, go to this network interface, edit, and then key in the address. Okay, so for this Red Hat server, I will be using 10.23.2.10 subnet mask, and then this is the gateway. So the gateway is my Cisco AP. So after that, I have to click OK. Okay. So remember, if you have any changes in your interface, you have to deactivate and you have to activate again. Okay? Okay. So let me close this. So after you have activated successfully, you can check your IP address. Okay. So this is my IP address. Okay. 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 Luckily, the IP address doesn't change. This is my old IP. So let me go back and redo this part again. Network. Okay. So let's go to this edit. Okay. So click OK. So let's deactivate. Yes. Okay. And activate again. Okay. Done. So after that, just key in the IF config one more time. You see that the IP address has been changed. Okay. So if you have any old IP address previously, please do the deactivate and activate, and then key in the IF config. Okay. Okay. You can also try ping to the 10.23.2.51, so you can get the reply from the AP here. Okay. Let me clear the screen. Okay, our next part, let me bring you to the session number 12 for the Radius service setup. As for the Radius authentication, you need to have a server certificate, okay, which normally provided by the servers. For our case, we will simulate the Radius server by providing you with the sample demo certificates, which are stored inside the etc. RADDB search folder. Okay, let me show you. ls root etc. RADDB followed by CRTS search. So there you can see there are some certs we already pre-installed for you guys. Okay. So next, since the certificates are available, let me bring you to the session 13. Okay, so let's do some pre-configurations. Okay, before we do configurations, I would like you to check, make sure your radius D can up. Okay, can start the radius D. How to start the radius D? Just enter slash etc slash init.d radius radius D start. Okay, key in this command, enter. So this is to start your radius. Okay. Also, you can check the status of your radius server. Just type radius status, so it's running. You can also stop the radius server using stop command. Okay, so you can restart it back. Start again. Okay, so let's do our first configurations. Okay, which is we have to configure the Microsoft Chat authentications in the radius D. So to do that, let me use gedit, followed by go to etc folder, RADDB, followed by radius d.conf. Okay, there we go. So first, you have to go to this MS Chat session here. To make it easier for you, just Control F. The search option will come out. So just type MS Chat. Okay, open bracket. Fine. Okay, so you are here already, MS Chat sessions. So make sure the MS chat session is uncommented. So I will remove this comment. Okay. So followed by, you have to change the authentication type to MS chat. So make sure this line is there in your configuration file. If don't have, you have to type in manually. And next, you have to have this use MBPE must be equal to yes. So make sure this line is uncommented. And also the require encryption is a yes, and require strong is yes. Okay. Okay. Next, I want you to make sure there is the close curly bracket must be there. If there is a comment, please remove it. Okay. Next, session will be authorized. Okay. So just type AUTH auto ATH ORIZ authorize open bracket. Fine. Okay, so now I'm in the authorized sessions. Okay, make sure to ensure that the pre-process here and the MS chat, okay, pre-process, MS chat options, suffix options must be uncommented. Okay, EAP and the files. Okay, okay, there are no signs, no hash sign in the same lines. Okay, in these attributes. Okay, next, let me bring you to the authenticate. So authenticate is here. Okay, by the way, okay, make sure just now the authorization session, right? If you see the open curly bracket here, you must also close with the close curly bracket. If there's a hash, there's a comment, please remove. Okay. Okay. Next, authentication. Okay, this part. Okay. So, okay, make sure the next three lines starting from authorization type chat must be the next three lines must be uncommented. Okay, this type MS chat. Okay, here must be uncommented, uncommented, uncommented. Okay, very important. Okay, after that you have to save the file, close it. Okay, again. Okay, next I want to go through with you to set up the client configuration file. So to me, I have already have key in. So let me go to the client configurations. Okay, so for you, just type gedit etc. RDDB clients.config. Okay, just enter. So you can see the client's configuration file. So please enter these 5 lines of code. So client is, for mine today is 10.23.2.51, which is the AP that joined to my radius server. So secret key is WLAN security. So bear in mind, take note, I already write down for you, secret key. So the secret key that you provided here and the secret key that you enter in the AP must be matched. Okay, the short name is WLAN, next type is CISCO. After you have done, okay, click save and then close it. Okay, remember, if you have opening curly bracket, must have the close curly bracket. Okay, next will be the EAP configuration file. So let's open the EAP configuration file. Okay, let me search EAP configuration file. Here we go. Enter. So first look at the TLS sessions. So to go to TLS session, Control F, TLS, okay, open bracket. Okay, so now you're in the TLS sessions. Make sure the private key password, private key files, they are uncommented. No hash sign. Here no hash sign. Here no hash sign. No hash, no hash. Okay. 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 Next. Okay, I want you to make sure they must have a close curly bracket. Okay. If there's a hash, please remove. Okay. We don't use TTLS for today. Okay. Next, let's go to the PAP. It should be here. So make sure the PAP is uncommented. Must have open bracket and must have a close curly bracket. And for the PAP, make sure the default EAP type must be MS Chat version 2. Okay. So after you have done, click Save buttons and then close the configuration file. Okay, let's do the last part, which is the user. Okay, let's see the user configuration file. Okay, here we go. Enter. Okay, so we got to add the 2 users in the radius configurations. So my first user will be WLAN user 1 and the password is WLAN user 1 also. Second user WLAN user 2 and password is WLAN user 2 also. So please take note. Okay. After that you have to save and then close it. Okay. After you have done the setup configurations, okay, you have to restart your radius server. Okay, so to restart, just type this command etc init.d radius d restart. Okay, if there's any error, you will see the fill in the setup. But for my case, it's done correctly, so you can see that okay. So if there's a failure or there's an error, you have to look at the error code and you have to solve the problem. So that means you have to go back to my video, make sure you have done properly. Okay, Ken? So now my video server is ready. Okay, so let's move on to the next part. Okay, next part will be our PC and the access point configurations. Okay, let me skip this point 14 and bring you to the point 15. Set up AP on the CISCO Aironet. Okay, so for that, let me bring you to the web browsers. By the way, you can use this web browser setup in either in the Red Hat or in your Windows web browser also. Okay, to me, I'm using Chrome browser. Okay, now I'm setting the 10.23.2.51. Just type enter. You should call the configuration setup interface. Okay, next I want you to go to the security. Okay, before I move to that security, I want you to set up the SSID into the CISCO AP. Okay, which we have set up earlier in our previous sessions. Okay, so I want you to make sure you have set up the SSID. For my case, for my setup, I'm using NSS Joe Radius. VLAN none. Okay, encryption is WEP mandatory. Okay, authentication. Okay, if you don't have this, you can simply create a new SSID. When you create new SSID, make sure you must click the check this broadcast SSID in beacon. You can start off with no security first. After that, you apply. All these settings, right, will be appear after you do the follow-up setup. Okay, so you can just simply type your SSID again. SSID, check, click the broadcast SSID in beacon. After that, you can start off with the no security and then apply. Then you should see your SSID here. Okay, make sure that must have the tick box. Tick means that is broadcasting. If there is no broadcasting, you cannot see your SSID, or you cannot see your Wi-Fi from other computer. Okay, so I do the initial setup. Okay, so after that, okay, I will go to this click on security button. This is a security button here. Okay, you have to wait for a while. Okay, this is my security button here. So after that, go to server manager, which is here. Okay, there we go. Okay, so what you have to do is that, okay, you have to wait for a while. You have to create a radius setup. Okay, so I've already set up the radius information here. Just give you one more time to run through. Okay, let me click this. Okay, for my case, my server name is 10.23.2.10. Share secret key will be WLAN security. Okay, just copy and paste into here. Okay, the authentication port is 1812 and 1813, and click apply. Okay, after that, you have to choose this EAB authentication. Priority 1, it should be the radius server. Okay, next we're using accounting. Priority 1, choose radius server IP address, followed by the admin authentications, radius server IP address. After that, click apply again. Okay, again, after you have applied ready, you should see this 10.23.2.10 setup. Just simply click and make sure all your settings are there. Okay, so but be patient with the CISCO AP. It might be a bit slow. Okay, so after you have done the server manager setup, okay, apply ready, right? Okay, next you have to go to the SSID manager. Okay, you have to go to the SSID manager, which is session 15.7. Okay, wait for a while. So now it's rotating, meaning it's setting up. Okay, this is the SSID that I created earlier. You can also create the SSID in this point as well. Okay, for my case, I created earlier. You can also create at this point. Okay, it's the same. Okay, next. Here, please check the open authentications. Then please click the check and choose the EAP with EAP here. And please check the network EAP and no additions. Okay, no more additions here. And then next, server properties, customize. Okay, key in this this already have ready. So just choose 10.23.2.10. You don't need for MAC authentications. Today we just purely using EAP authentications. Okay, key management, make sure it's none. Okay, make sure it's none for the key management. Okay, which I could put it here, none. Okay, and then followed by make sure the WPA share key is empty. Okay, then make sure the enable accounting is checked. Okay, followed by accounting server properties, click customize, choose priority 1, choose the IP address of the radius server. Okay, followed by, go all the way down to the multiple beacon SSID. After that, click apply. Okay, okay. After you click apply, you should see this SSID list. Okay, for my case, I'm using NSS Joe radius. Okay, so once you have enabled, right, you should see this SSID NSS Joe. You see here, right? NSS Joe radius. This is the one. Okay. Okay, next, last part will be the encryptions manager. So let's go to encryption managers. So we're going to add the additional security. Okay, let's say if a device doesn't support the radius authentication, okay, we also allow them to use the WEP authentications. So to do that, okay, from none, please choose the WEP encryptions, put it as a mandatory. Okay, followed by choose the key one, key in the password, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 0. Okay, followed by key size, please choose it to 40 bits. Okay, there's 128 is original, so please choose to 40 bits. Okay, after that, please click onto the apply radio 0. Okay, so after you have done all your settings, okay, I want you to restart your AP modules. To restart the AP modules, click onto the system software, system configurations, and then followed by click the restart. Okay, so after restart, you have to wait for about 2 or 3 minutes. Okay, once done, okay, I want you to go back to this AP interface. Okay, to me, I won't show you the restarting part. So for your case, you have to restart your AP so that when your USB is booted, it will link to the radius server. Okay, so now let's say my Cisco AP is restarted. Okay, so I will do my PC setup configurations. Okay, so let me bring you back to the session 14 here. Okay, because in order for session 14 to work, you need to broadcast the SSID, which I just now key in. Okay, so now for my Windows 10 computer, so now my PC, my Windows 10 computer, I will act as a PC2. Okay, so I'm using my PC2. I'm going to join to my radius server. Okay, for that, I want you to make sure a few things. Okay, make sure your PC, right? Okay, the PC that running the radius server, take note, or your Red Hat server, you must switch off or turn off the antivirus and the firewall. For my case, I already off the antivirus. Okay, let me double check for you. So here, my real-time scanning I off already, and also my firewall is being off. Okay, make sure your firewall and your antivirus is switched off for your Red Hat server. Okay, now I'm going to connect my my Wi-Fi. Okay, let me disconnect from my staff network. Let me do a disconnect. Okay, so now, right, I want to join to the NSS Joe radius. Okay, let me right click. Okay, here, let's go to the. Okay, I have to join to the network first. Okay, let me recall it back. Okay, so let's go to here, network settings. Okay, let's see. I want to check whether I have been any and no networks linked before. Okay, I don't have anything that I linked before. Okay, I'm safe. Okay, so I need to create a manual connections. So I'm going to create a manual connection. So let me go to the change advanced sharing options. Okay, sorry, not these options. Okay, let's go to here. Easier. Open network and sharing center. This is easier for me. Okay, let's go to set up a new network or connections. Followed by manual connect a wireless network. Next. Okay, so let me do a manual connections. So what is the network's name for me today is NSS Joe radius. NSS Joe radius. Okay. Security type, I'm using I have to choose 802.1.x, okay, which is written down here. So I have to choose the 802.1.x. Okay, and then check the start this connection automatically. Connect even if the network is not broadcasting. Okay, so key in the particular informations, SSID 802.1.x. check here. Okay, click next. Okay, let's change the connection setting before we close. Okay, so next I have to go to the security tab. Tab here to make sure the H02.1 is X is selected. Encryption is WEP. I'm using Microsoft EAP. Okay, followed by, okay, remember the credentials for this connection each time. Okay, next, go to settings and check this verify server identity. Okay, please and check here. So what else? Okay, make sure the secure password EAP MS Chat 2 is selected. Okay, after that, okay, check on the enable fast reconnect. Okay, all are written down here. Okay, so make sure you have done the this configuration setup. Okay, click OK. Okay, after that click OK, and then you close it. Okay, so our next part we have to connect to the radius. So now the radius is connecting. Okay, now they prompt me for the username password. Okay, so my username password is, remember, WLAN user 1, and followed by my password is WLAN user 1. Okay, I am using for the test purpose. I'm using the same username and password. After you have key in, click OK. So you have to wait for a while. Okay, you have to wait for a while. There we go. So now my AP is linked to the Radius server using the username password authentications. Okay, with that I will end my videos here. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.